Today we're taking a quick look at Freud's new Diablo 10-inch blade. It's a D1040UX. It's an ultimate general purpose blade, and we'll test it out on the table saw. So this is a 10-inch blade with a 5/8" arbor hole, and it's got 40 teeth. And as such, it kind of hits the sweet spot. I like to be in the 30 to 50 tooth range for general purpose work. Of course, the higher you go on that spectrum, the better it's going to be at cross cutting. The lower you go, the better it's going to be for rip cuts. One blade that compares very directly to this new Diablo blade is Freud's U86 RO10. It's from their industrial line, so you can resharpen it multiple times, but I've been through 8 or 10 of these on my 2 table saws, and I've been quite happy with that. Another blade that's very similar to this Diablo is Freud's Premier Fusion series. If you like the way the Premier Fusion cuts with the very high 30-degree alternating bevels and strong positive hook angle, about 18 degrees, then you'll definitely like this new Diablo Ultimate General Purpose blade. And you'll be able to grab it at about half the price. Remember to drop down to the description box if you're ready to pop on this new general purpose blade. Now, if you tend to resharpen blades multiple times, you might be happier with the industrial line of blades, but if you're like me and you tend to just clean blades as long as you can, and once they become dull, go ahead and replace them, you'll be happy with the Diablo line of blades. This blade has multiple expansion cuts and resin-filled slots to keep noise in check, but honestly, I didn't notice any difference between this and the industrial line of blades. I am quite happy that this is exactly 10 inches now, for easier calibration on the saw stop. I generally like Freud blades. The only knock I've had against them is related to the saw stop, and the problem I've had is the blades are slightly undersized. So when you go to calibrate the new blade on your saw, you actually have to adjust the saw brake, and that's not true with this new Diablo blade. It measures right at 10 inches, so if your old blade was 10 inches and your brake was set correctly, you can just drop it in and go to work. Okay, we'll rip and cross cut a couple different species with this new Diablo blade and see how it performs. So ripping white oak that's about 7/8 of an inch thick, I don't see any burn marks at all or any swirl marks to speak of for that matter, so pretty incredible for a blade at this price point. When evaluating any blade, make sure to have a freshly jointed edge against your rip fence. If there's any bow along that edge, of course that'll affect cut quality. And we'll try some maple. Maple is a hardwood that's really prone to burning, and again, nice clean cuts on that ripping with this 40-tooth blade. There's a very aggressive bevel angle on this blade, and that becomes apparent if you stop in the middle of a cut. And here's where I stop for a few seconds to demonstrate the bevel angle, and you can see just how prone this maple is to burning. But even with a modest feed rate, you won't experience that with typical cuts. And then we'll look at cross-cutting performance, starting with the white oak. Okay, so here's the results right off the saw. I didn't sand or defuzz these in any way, so this is kind of what you get. Really clean cuts on the entrance and exit side on both sides of the white oak, so certainly nothing to complain about there. On the maple, again, it looks like it's free of any burns or swirls. Really clean exit cuts, so yeah, that looks really good, and as for a general purpose blade, I think you'd be hard pressed to complain about those results. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. I'll put links in the description box so you can check current pricing and order yourself one if you're in the market for a new general purpose blade. Hey, thanks for watching guys. We'll see you on the next one.